DJI Mini mic. Nice packaging. Comes in a soft pouch. Actually like that a lot better than the plasticky looking pouches. Really nice feel to it. Open it up. Let's see what we got. Okay, similar to the other DJIs, the case, charging case. All right, a little bit smaller. All right, so now let's kind of do a comparison. The bag in the original DJI MIC1, I actually like this quite a bit. It's a nicely made bag. You can just throw this stuff in it, fairly protected. Great bag. Case, tremendous. When DJI came out with the MIC1 with its case and the ability to keep everything in one place, as well as charge it in one place, it really differentiated it over the Rodes that I was using. Rodes were good mics, but wow, what a difference. The ability to use a very small receiver, tremendous. The ability to have both a USB 3 as well as a lightning attachment to your iPhone, tremendous. And then obviously you could also attach it to your camera with the cable. The transmitters were tremendous as well. They were tiny at the time, clip-on with magnet. I personally never used a magnet. I used the clip. It worked great. The MIC2. Now, in this case, they changed the packaging. I have never liked this. It's the same package that they use for the DJI Osmo. It's rubbery. It's not like it's badly made. I don't particularly love the zipper. I can't stand this clamshell thing. It doesn't really open very well. You can get everything in it, but everything feels jammed. You get your windsock, your extensions, etc. I'm just not a major fan of this package. The case itself, just as good. You know, you've got a nice looking case, and they improved the case in that the release, you had to push a button to make the release to open it. Frankly, I never ran into that problem with that one either. It didn't fly open to me ever, but obviously a decent improvement. The receiver is bigger. Now, we're going to talk about that because that actually created a problem for me. In MIC1, I had no problem taking the receiver and attaching it to what I was using, which is a beast cage. I love the beast cage. They're incredibly well engineered. They just recently re-engineered them. I think they're not using as heavy of a housing. It's probably a good thing. This is a very good case. Very, very well made. It's good looking and it looks professional, and it is. But the problem I ran into is the MIC1 would easily just fit in there perfectly. The problem I ran into now, though, unfortunately, with the MIC2, and this was kind of a big deal. I was at a big sporting event, ready to film some athletes, and I go to put the mic in, and it won't seed because the new DJI Mic2 is just ever so much bigger. Probably not going to run into this problem certainly not with a phone by itself. You're certainly not going to run into it with things like small rigs products, but with the beast cage, which I really like, it will not seed, and I'm out of luck. Fortunately, I don't know what I was thinking that day, but I did bring the MIC1 just as a backup, and I was able to use the MIC1. But the DJI Mic2 with the popular beast cage and the cage that I use for all my iPhones was not working because it just would not fit. So it became really important to me that the new Mini would have a smaller receiver, and in fact, it does. It's significantly smaller. The major difference, by the way, between 1 and 2, the 1 and 2 has a very nice LED. There's a lot more function on the 2. They removed that on the Mini. I don't actually see that as a problem because I personally, I would connect it. I'd get the blinking lights. I'd see that my transmitters were blinking, and I never looked at it again. The bouncing of the meters, never really used it. I frankly, in the middle of filming, I didn't really see the opportunity to actually fix that. Because you're filming, so I'm fine with this. And the problem, does it fit? It does fit, and it's a big deal. Now, it's also, what also is a big difference is this is incredibly light. It feels like there's nothing in it. I can't even imagine how it's, I mean, it's literally like, I'm guessing, but it's about 3 times lighter. This isn't heavy by any means, but it is heavier, whereas this is incredibly light. Now, there are cases where I have not attached this. I've just had this hanging from a camera, whereas this easily could hang from a camera and wouldn't be any problem whatsoever. So the receiver itself, the receiver itself is significantly smaller. But here's the thing that I want to actually show you that I think is going to be a big difference. All right, now I have the transmitter and receiver hooked up, and I think you're going to notice a dramatic difference. I believe very similar to the DJI 1 and 2 and the Mini, you can go 400, I think it's feet or yards away from the actual device that you're recording from. But I think the audio is dramatically different. What is dramatically different as well is the size. So you can see here, this is the MIC1, this is the 2, and the Mini, as the name implies, it's dramatically smaller. A couple of things that are nice about it. One, you lose that flopping effect. I've got this, in the middle. It's flopping. It's noticeable. You lose. You really can't see it. And by the way, this comes in both a black and a white version. So if you're filming a wedding or you're hooking it to a gentleman's white shirt, you've got that option. But this is tiny. No flop. Now, let's look at it by comparison. This is the MIC1, and let's look at the difference. That is a big difference. Let's compare it to the MIC2. MIC2 did a nice job with the MIC2 where you can see the electronics inside. But wow, that is a dramatic difference. So you have to love the new Mini in terms of size. I'm getting flop, it's a loose shirt. But all right, so now you've got a really tiny, dramatically tinier receiver, and you've got the ability to freely walk around and have good quality audio in a very small package. I believe the actual Mini with its case will last 48 hours. So if you're taking a trip anywhere, at any length, 48 hours is the full trip. Beautifully packaged. The pouch itself, like I said, I love the pouch. It reminds me a lot of the original pouch, which I loved. Hate it. Pouch 2, really like this pouch. Now, what's also great about these pouches is, you've got a charging cable. You've got the cable to connect it to a regular camera. You've got a little charge plug, and those things will all fit beautifully into this one place. Whereas the MIC2, so cramped, so jammed up that tiny little charger adapter, you couldn't fit into this thing, and that drove me crazy. So I think going back to the pouch, I think the size, I love the fact that no LED lights. I know many people are going to have a problem with that. They want to see the bouncing things happen, the gain, etc. I personally like the little dial. Set it at 0, dial it up, dial it down. Enough for me to deal with, because that's more than enough for me to even think about. So big fan of the MIC1, big fan of the MIC2, big fan of the Mini. DJI just keeps knocking the cover off it with microphones. I'd love to see one day a DJI mic come out with more than two transmitters. I don't know why, but I think it'd be cool to see more than that. But I don't really have a need for it, but more is better. But the two works really, really well. DJI Mic Mini, great product.